Welcome to Ravens Over. Please go to my channel, also hit the notification bell, and like this video and share. Let me give you our definition of discrimination now. It's an unjust and prejudicial prejudice treatment in the different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. Now, there are trans women that's being attacked, and one have died fighting for the cause. And I want to share with you their life in living, and one have passed on. Welcome.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? Are you getting it in? Somebody getting it for you? What's going on, people? Subscribe to my channel.
Her name was Aimee Stephens, and I want to share this story about her life, just in case you didn't know about her, what she was going through. Now, she's the woman she was the woman at the center of a trans employment case currently before the Supreme Court has died. Now, Aimee discrimination case was heard back last in October, and the Supreme Court could issue a ruling as early as this week. Now, this story is being reported as of May the 12th, 2020, which is on a Tuesday. Now, Aimee Stephens, the transgender woman with unemployment, non-discrimination case currently before the Supreme Court died at the age of 59 years old. Now, the court heard arguments that Stephens' case, along with other discrimination cases in October, the ruling could come as early as this week. Now, it's stating that thank you from the bottom of my hearts for your kindness, generosity, and keeping my best friend and soulmate in your thoughts and prayers. Stephens' spouse said, Diana said in an email statement that Aimee is an inspiration. Aimee, she was given so much hope for the future and quality for the LGBTQ people in our country, and has rewritten history, outpouring love and support in our strength and inspiration now. Now, Aimee was fired from her job as a funeral home director after she came out to her employer as trans. Her case challenged the firing, saying that the rights were violated based on protections against sex discrimination. Now, her case is successful, would uphold in the employment discrimination protections from transgender people. Aimee's case was consolidated with two other cases that involve gay people who are suing for the same protection. But unfortunately, she has passed on. So it says that Aimee's family announced earlier this week that she was receiving hospice care at her home for a long battling time of kidney disease. Friends set up a fund me to cover the end of her life and the burial expenses. Now, Aimee Stephens just wanted to continue to do the job she was hired to do, that she was good at, and at that she was prepared to continue while living in her true identity. Now, the director of PFLAG, said in an email statement, "It is very heavy on our hearts. We are mourning the Aimee's passing. Her fight will continue, and we will strive for equality in all exclusive sexual orientation and gender identity." Like as so many of LGBTQ people, working people, Aimee was just wanting to do her job in her authentic self. So thank you, Aimee, for your coverage. To stand up to be yourself. Your voice will be missed, but your cause will win the day. Okay. Give me a second here. The family in my prayers. This is one woman that was fighting. Unfortunately, we lost her. She ended up dying, and she's died because she had a long fight from kidney failure. She had kidney disease and stuff, so she ended up dying. So I can say, rest in peace, my sister, rest in peace. However, here goes another case I want to talk to you about that's going on as of now as well. You know, if it ain't one thing, it's another. But we will not be erased. However, I want to share another story with you about discrimination. This is about Berri Chaney. Now, Berri Chaney, she said that, "I lost my job because I'm a transgender. The Supreme Court will decide sooner whether I can get justice. I'm not a puzzle, I'm a person." This story is reported as May the 20th, 2020. Now, it's stating that, "I felt my stomach cramp when I was handed when I handed my driver's license to my general manager for an Applebee near Jackson in Mississippi while I had been hired, hoping he would notice that I was assigned male at birth, or that it is still listed my legal name. He walked a few feet away before stopping, tilting his head sideways and turning back around. His whole demeanor changed. He no longer looked in my eyes, holding just a corner of my driver's license between the thumb and the forehead as if he were too gross to touch. He asked, "Who is this?" I told him, "It's my driver's license." "Oh no," he replied, shaking his head from side to side, realizing I was transgender woman. He told me to leave and call him later that afternoon, even though I had already been hired for the job as a hostess. Later on the phone, he explained that the problem is not my application, it was me, Berri Chaney said. It didn't look like the person described on the driver's license. You didn't look like the person on the driver's license. He called me puzzled that he just wasn't willing to put it together. For years, I worked my way up to the service industry ladder for delivery person as waitress and the hostess, but after hours were cut at another restaurant during hard times, I was invited to interview at the open house hostess position at Applebee's back in January 2019. As I watched the assistant manager interview 7 other applicants, I began to wonder what chance I had fighting for this position already had been filled. I always worried about that because I'm a trans person. I'm not going to get the job. But the assistant manager hired me on the spot. When she learned that my past of experience made me extremely well qualified, she told me, "You should receive more pay than what was advertised." She also promised me that I would get better hours and share the service tips as well as the restaurant gross profits before my shift. She even introduced me to the staff as their new hostess. Allegedly. "This is going to be a new beginning for both of us," she told me. In spite of my fear of being a trans might make me unemployable, I didn't have to pretend to be someone else at the job to do my job. I was just Berri, very qualified Berri, and that was all I could need it to be, and so I thought. I arrived earlier for orientation, ready to work. The general manager told me he was happy to have me as his new hostess because they needed a pretty face up front, and I was very beautiful. Okay, here we go. That's when he asked me for my ID card, and the whole thing went downhill. In my eyes, I was no longer the pretty face that was the pretty to greet the dinners, but my man pretended to be a woman. I was devastated. My pain and my hurt were contagiously affected by social media, my work, my studies, and my marriage. I lost the ability to focus on my enjoyment life and trust others. I also set back financially, including falling back behind on rent to make ends meet. I took out a little loan on my car to even pay for my wedding band and other variables. I was lucky to get my wedding band back. The whole episode ended in a disaster, but it all started with such a promise. All I wanted was a job that I was more than qualified for, that I could do, that I enjoyed doing, and it would provide me and my husband, but Applebee's turned me away because of who I am. I believe that is illegal under the federal law that prohibits employment discrimination based on sex. Title V of the Civil Act in 1964 makes it illegal to discriminate against a person for employment on bias or race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Now there is a battle in the court over the definition of sex in Title V or Title VII. There are cases now before the U.S. Supreme Court to determine whether or not employees can discriminate against LGBTQ people workers based on their sexual identity, sexual orientation. President Donald Trump and Justice Department employers in these cases have argued that Title VII does not protect LGBTQ people. If the Supreme Court were to decide whether discrimination on basis on gender identity does not count on sexual discrimination, then Applebee's wouldn't have to make things right with me. Or it could turn away every qualified trans application. Mississippi, like many other states, does not have their own laws specified prohibiting discrimination against LGBTQ employees, so we have nowhere else to run. I'm speaking out because I want every LGBTQ person looking for work to enjoy security and regular paychecks and to be able to provide themselves with a family without the fear of everything being taken away. No one should ever fear losing their job just because of who they are, and no business should have a license to discriminate. Berri Chaney submitted a charge of discrimination with the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission against Quality Restaurant Concepts LLC and has received a notice of her rights to sue. Okay. Let me get my commentation together here. Discrimination. It's just so sad on so many levels. Unfortunately, I've been through this. A lot of girls like me been through this. Even people who never transitioned been through discrimination. And no one is really picking up this story. It's not getting that much flight, which I'm realizing as well. Because I was doing a lot of research and looking. I noticed it wasn't getting that much air. Which I'm going to need y'all to share this video every way you can. We have to show people, listen. This is the thing with me. We can't do RIP if we don't make a loud noise. We can't let the world know what's happening with discrimination if we do not make a lot of noise. These little things right here, it's up to us to do the footwork for our sisters and our brothers that's being discriminated against. No one's going to know about these cases if we let it go silent. And it's so sad because I have to dig around and find. A lot of people know I do this type of work, but they never send me these things. These ones on platform, because they're too worried about me becoming too big on the issue. It's not about who's a bigger blogger, who's a bigger person get the stories out. The whole situation is about helping people along the way that's like you. It's not a personal matter. We cannot make these situations well, I just want to be the one to put it on my page and let everyone knows about it. No, we need to share this. Listen, sis, I got something else you need to report. Here's something you need to share with everyone in your audience. No one's going to know about these situations if it falls just on your own page. You should be sharing these things everywhere. And it's sad because I got to dig. And I got to dig, and it's so sad because we talk about inclusion, but we don't want to have our own included. Here is a woman right here that's basically fighting for her life and her livelihood. It's not even getting much airplay. I don't know if y'all even know about it, because I didn't even know about it. I just happened to bump into it because somebody sent me something. A guy sent me something else or something, and I did a little digging and went straight here to this and found this girl in a situation right here saying that she's being denied a job at Applebee's because the manager found that she was trans. Now, she was hired because she was overqualified. But he felt this, oh no, you can't be here. And this is my personal opinion. This is the problem we're having with religious belief and personal belief. I don't feel as though you need to be here because of my personal opinion of you. And also the same people that don't want you to discriminate against them, which I call hypocrites. However, I've been doing a little digging like I always do, and I want to share the video with you with her words talking to you. Check this out.
His name was Mr. Williams. I am the general manager here. He said, so now I need your social and your driver license. And when he approached me, he was like, what is this? He said, no, this looks like a man. In fact, this is a man. And you are a woman, so why are you giving me a man's driver license? I said, Mr. Williams, is it my application? He said, no, it's not your application. The problem is you. You came in dressed like a woman, but you is a man on here. And he was like, that is just something that we do not do here. We like to know exactly expectations of who we're hiring. You are puzzled. When it comes to you, you are like a puzzle that I'm not willing to put together. I said, well, she already hired me. I'm hired. He said, no, you're not hired here. You ain't nothing here. When I gave Mr. Williams my driver license, and he learned that I was assigned male at birth, he no longer wanted me to work there as a person at the front door. I want LGBTQ people to be able to go in any corporation, franchise, or location with their head higher than the roof. All I wanted was acceptance and equality. That's all I wanted. And that's why I'm not bagging down, because I've come this far. Being trans in America is hard enough. And what's even harder is when you don't even have America behind you.
Well, Miss Chaney, I'm behind you now. And I want y'all to share this video where you can, because like I said before, people make things a personal issue when these girls have died in fighting for rights for us, and even ones that come behind to try to stop a lot of things. And it's so sad. It's so sad I happened to stumble across her page. So share this video where you can. We got to make a loud noise. We have to make a loud noise. And it's so sad, even Aimee Stephens, 59 years old, and died. I didn't know nothing about this. Now, she was fired for being a transgender woman. She worked at a funeral home where Aimee worked, terminated, but after she came out as transgender in a letter, she wrote to the owners. It's horrible. Now, she's passed on. Rest in peace, Aimee. Rest in peace, your family in my prayers. You're being fired. You're doing a job and you're getting fired because of who you are. It amazes me. Remember, this is the one thing. We're talking about what's between their legs. Not between their head here. Between their legs. That's all they're concentrating on. But they don't do this in no other gender. But you want to concentrate on what's between my legs. And the thing about it is, transgender is not between your legs. It's between your ears. When are y'all going to get this part? These are real people. I am so tired of putting, I'm human. I'm gay, I'm lesbian, I'm why do we have to keep telling y'all we're human? We become human, y'all jump into bed with us. And it's so sad. We have to keep screaming out top of our list, we got rights. But like I said before, I'll let y'all comment below. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, share this video everywhere you can. We have to be the soldiers for our sisters that's in the struggle with us, fighting. Let them know that they're not alone. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you're fighting for something, you feel very alone. You feel like nobody cares. So my sister, Miss Berri, I love you. You stay strong. And you keep the fight. RavenOverYahoo.com. If anything you want to share, I will definitely report it on my channel. It's not a big platform, but it's a big enough one. At least I can make a little bit of noise. Not a lot, but a little bit. And stay strong, my sister. I love you. And Aimee, my sister, Stephen, 259 rest in peace, my sister. You did a great fight. God bless you. Hopefully the family going to continue to fight. I don't know how the court proceedings go when a person has passed on. But you're in my prayers. Her significant other. Y'all comment below how you feel about this video. You know, this video drank me to death. You know, and here it is, a beautiful woman, Aimee. She done passed on fighting. She barely just could even hardly work, but fought to the end. Ended up dying for kidney disease. God bless her soul. And now my sister's screaming the same way. Let's make the right that's been done wrong. Let's make the right with Berri that's been done wrong by Aimee. Let's close the cycle instead of keep repeating it. Like I said before, at the top there's the Instagram button. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. Subscribe to my channel. I will leave your comments. Let you know I love you. And thank you for watching. Catch the